Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome, everyone. As promised, we have a great topic tonight. I'm just so excited to talk about this. And thanks for joining me. To all those who are new to me, I'm Deanna Seals. I'm a licensed clinical professional counselor. I'm also an author. I'm a Christian. I love coffee. I love books. I love so many other things. I'm also a doctoral candidate. So I know a lot of you will probably look at this replay. Um, and when you do, comment, share, and subscribe. We're in for a great talk tonight. I a couple of days ago, I was looking at what was it? A Different World. If you don't know what that is, Google it, look it up. You will love it. For those who are not familiar with A Different World, it was a show back when I was young, many years ago. It was about the historically Black college and university experience. It was a spinoff from The Cosby Show where Denise went to college, Hillman College, and it is such a phenomenal show. So, what prompted me to talk about this tonight, this subject called it's a series. We're going to make this a series called Lessons in Love. And what prompted me was I was looking at a show a week ago or a couple of days ago, and I heard these words by one of the famous characters on there, Whitley, talking to then young Jada Pinkett Smith. And again, I'm Deanna Seals for those who are joining. Like, share, and subscribe. And so, again, this is Lessons in Love, and it's called One Mistake That Singles Make. I have a heart for the singles. I really do. Especially those who are older, like myself. Anybody older than 30, 35 who never thought that they would still be single, you're not alone. So, one mistake that singles make, I was watching, and Jada Pinkett Smith character was in school, and she was in her math class, and she developed feelings for her professor, who is Dwayne Wade. And his girlfriend, Whitley, is the, I guess, headmaster of the dorm. And so Jada Pinkett Smith character was kind of sulking, because her advances toward him were not received well. He rejected her. He was, first of all, her professor. Second of all, he was older. Third of all, he was engaged or dating Whitley for years. And so, one question that Whitley Gilbert asked Jada Pinkett Smith character, Lena, that's the character of Jada Pinkett Smith. The question was asked, um, did he lead you on, or did you see something that wasn't there? Again, the question was, did he really lead you on, or did you see something that wasn't there? And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about that mistake that singles make. I've made it. Um, and I think you're going to get a 2-for-1 tonight. So that's a mistake that singles make, because when the question was broached to Lena, uh, and the question again was, did he lead you on, or did you see something that wasn't really there? Again, we can all maybe go back down memory lane, or maybe you don't have too far to look back, but you can kind of think about some instances, at least one, where maybe you misinterpreted someone's words or actions, that they were more than what they really were not. And so I think a lot of times this happens with young women, um, because we are emotional. We take everything in, and we see through this lens, and it really takes us a lot to take the emotion out and to really look at what is presented to us. And likewise with the men. So men are, they are emotional, but they are not as emotional as women. And so maybe they can be all in the headspace, but it may take some time for the heart to develop or engage. And so when I thought about that, I was like, whoa, that's certainly a mistake that singles find themselves making, that they misinterpret, what's really going on in the relationship. Now, I will say this. There are some people who will lead you on, and that is not right. It's not fair. It's not biblical. And whether or not you are of the Christian faith, it's just not right to lead anyone on when your intentions are not pure, when your intentions are not there for the other person, because then you're doing things out of selfishness, out of arrogance, out of pride, so many other reasons. And so you don't want to do that. I've had an experience with that too, especially when I was, younger, a person, leading me on. And when you have not evolved into weighing actions and um, what someone is saying, then you will go full force into, oh, they said this, but the actions are not matching up. So there should be a match up in behavior as well as speech. I told you guys we were getting a 2-for-1 tonight. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. I would love to know your comments. And so when Lena thought about that question that was asked of her, she had to admit that, you know what? I thought he was cool, and he is a cool professor, but I think that I was, mistook his words as something more than what they really are. And so she admitted that she, she looked at it too much. She looked at it differently than what he was giving to her. And so we have to be careful when we are interested in someone and someone is showing us interest back. Really pay attention to those words, really pay attention to that behavior, because those two should be matching up. If there's a question mark in either one, you take it as they are not interested, because confusion is not of God. I repeat, confusion is not of God. So people, if they are really interested in you, they will let you know and they will show you. We are talking about lining up those behaviors with your speech. So that's a mistake that singles make. They misinterpret what's not there. And again, ladies, you know, with anybody, you really have to guard your imagination. Don't have conversations that are not there. Don't add to the conversation. And we can do that. We tend to do that. And so think about that as you go along, as you are interested in someone. If someone is showing their interest, let them show their interest. We don't have to help anyone out. We really don't. You don't have to help anyone out. You don't have to say, hey, I'm over here. Do you see me? They see you. But if they're interested, they will make themselves known toward you, for men and women. So let that be known and really truly recognize that as such. Um, I was so prompted to talk about that mistake that singles make. It prompted me to say, you know what? I'm going to talk about other mistakes that singles make. So the series Lesson in Love is pretty much here to stay, and we're going to talk about it. Um, I am matching practical application with biblical wisdom, because as a believer, we should be doing things by the book. We are different than the world, although um, there are some practical tools that benefits both, whether you are a believer or not. And so again, that question that was asked, did you really hear things in the right way, or were you misinterpreting something that was not there? So it's very, very important that you take the time out to reflect, to listen, to apply wisdom, and to really observe what that other person is doing, how their behavior is towards you, and also what their language is toward you. There are some people who will, out of selfishness, lead you on. That's a no. We don't like that. It's just wrong and mean, because you're messing with someone's feelings. But here's the responsibility that we have. If you see someone saying one thing and acting in a different way, take it as they're not interested. And you can even confront them on it. You can have a healthy conversation and confront them on what they're doing. Maybe they don't even realize it because some, I don't know, for whatever reason, but there's nothing wrong with a healthy confrontation. So do that. Again, don't add to what's not there. If someone is interested, they will be interested. There is no guessing games. God is not the author of confusion. If you are waiting on a godly spouse, if you know that it is God's will for you to be married, you wait on a godly spouse. God will not send you someone who is confusing you with their behavior and with their speech. God will not send someone who will lead you on because they are selfish and they just want a warm body, or they are lonely. Yes, people get lonely, but by no means you should take that as leading someone on just to fulfill a selfish desire because you're lonely. Take that loneliness to God. You know, get out and enjoy your singleness. Cultivate a network of community. um, Look at your friendships, look at your family, look at your church members, cultivate a strong community. So that's what you want to do. I'm also excited to announce that I have my book. It's an ebook called The Search: How to Choose Wisely in Love, and it's available. Will be available tomorrow. So if you order today, your ebook will be delivered in your email tomorrow. The link is down there on the bottom. So click the link, tell a friend, and let them know, hey, there's a book, so that we don't have to keep repeating the same mistakes, so that we don't have to misinterpret what's not really there. So it's time for you to wise up. It's time for you to level up in love. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote this book years ago, actually in 2016. I jotted down some notes that I felt that God was teaching me and showing me, and years later it has developed into an ebook. So it is there for you to not only enjoy, but it's there for you to take as wisdom and insight, because it is time for you to break the toxic cycles of these situationships. It's time for you to stop being in dead end relationships. And oftentimes when you're in situationships, you are doing what? You're misinterpreting. You are taking something in that it's not really there. Um, People are using you as a holding place. No one wants to be used. And so it's time for you to stop being used. It's time for you to take ownership, and to love yourself more. Because to me, again, I'm a counselor, to me, when you are settling for less, I can point that to self worth. And that's another conversation. And perhaps it is not your time to be in a relationship. And perhaps the only relationship you need to be in is with yourself and with God, so He can heal that brokenness, and you can stop attracting people who are using you. And oh, maybe I'll talk about that in another session. See, I got my counselor hat on. I'm thinking session. Perhaps I'll talk about that in another YouTube video. But if you like this video, comment, let me know if there are topics that you want to hear. Let me know what it is you're interested in, because I would love to talk about it. This is a Lessons in Love series, because whether or not you are supposed to get married, you don't have to be use wisdom about everything. I don't want you to not use wisdom. And so, again, use wisdom. I have the book that is available for you. So you can't say that you didn't know. You don't know because you don't want to know. So take that as a sign, take it as confirmation as such. I was never trying to hold you all long, and I am an on-time person. If I say 6:30, I mean 6:30. But thanks for watching, and for those who will be tuning in to watch the replay, I'm Deanna Seals. Subscribe. I want to hear from you and want to know more about you. Okay, I will see you guys later. You have an awesome, awesome night.